Hey everyone, welcome to MaysLugLife. I'm May, and no, you're not seeing things. This is not a lug. It's a Vendula. This is a Vendula of London bag. It is a company that's based in the UK that makes really ornate vegan leather bags like this, and they've got tons of three-dimensional features all over it. They're usually themed. They've got really great characters on them, lots of amazing colors, lots of different shapes and sizes and silhouettes. They make purses and bags and wallets, accessories like scarves and keychains and all that. Very similar to Lug, but their stuff is incredibly ornate. It's all vegan leather, and well, kind of, in that, you know, like the bags themselves are vegan leather. I think there's a few that they make that are not. There are very few that are, whereas with Lug, they just started introducing their vegan leather now. These guys have always used vegan leather. Like I said, they're based in the UK. They're kind of pricey, especially when you do the exchange, especially also if you're considering that you have to pay for the amount of shipping and customs once it comes into this country. I think it's free shipping to the States. I don't know about customs. I got to assume there must be, but it's a little bit cheaper to get if you're American. I believe there's also a few little boutiques here and there in the States, and I think in Australia, there's a few, I think there might be a couple of retailers and things like that sell them. I don't believe there's anybody in Canada, so I got this directly off of the Vendula website. I will leave the description of the store below. Have a look at it if you haven't seen it already. I will also leave a description of my unboxing video when I got this bag, just so that you can take a look and see the other little things that I got as well. But the reason why I'm talking about this today is not just to talk about how awesome this bag is and how great this company is, but it's because I just went to the theater a couple of days ago for the first time since all the lockdowns, and I took this bag with me. Now, I actually have taken this bag out before. I did end up going to that funeral, by the way, for anybody who remembers my unboxing video. I did have a funeral I was going to go to the next day, and I ended up going to the funeral with this bag. I had asked everybody for their opinion, and I actually did end up going. So I thought I would take this to a much more happy, pleasant event. Not that the funeral was unpleasant, but I just wanted to make sure this bag actually got to see, you know, like a fun outing as opposed to the first time it went out. And I'm really looking forward to taking this out to an actual Italian restaurant as well, where I think it definitely deserves to be. This thing needs to see pasta and olive oil. So with that, so what this is, what the shape of this, or the silhouette, or the style of this bag is called the Shopper Tote. So there's a few different styles. This is a tote style bag, but it is a purse size. So it's not a big bag. It's not like a bag that you can run all your errands in and put all your shopping in. It is called a Shopper Tote, but it's actually a purse size. So it's not very big. It's maybe a little under a foot wide, maybe about 8 inches high, so it's not super big. It's maybe about 3.5 inches like deep this way. So it's a good size purse. So for people who like to carry a lot of stuff, it's going to be limiting. If you are one of these people who only carries the minimum, this thing is going to be huge. It is one of their larger style bags. I think like when they do bags, they sometimes have like slightly different styles, but the ones where they did like a whole series of them, they all kind of came out in the same styles. So they were like, you know, the small wallets, the bigger wallets, the larger clutch, and then there were like, you know, handbags and shoulder bags, and then there was this one, and then there was a backpack. So out of all the bags, this is the second largest bag that they had in the storefront sort of themed bags. So like I said, the only other one I think was a little bigger was the backpack. It was a convertible backpack. I almost got that one. If I had gotten that one when it was out, I would have gotten it. It was just way too expensive at the time. This was on sale when I got it, and thank God it was, because it was the only way I was going to be able to afford it. So anyway, so this is like this is the second largest bag that they make. As in that line, there are larger bags as well. But for me, this was what I needed. I was just going to the theater. I just wanted to take all of my essentials plus a few things. So I'm just going to show you how I packed it, how much goes into it, how it carries, and pardon me, all the little lugs that I was actually able to fit in there. Pardon me, I suddenly just like swallowed air and I couldn't breathe. Okay, So I'm just going to show you, I have packed this really tightly. Like it's filled to the brim, and yet it still has, like I said, a very slim profile. I was surprised because when I stuffed it, I was like, uh-oh, the zippers are going to break, or maybe it's going to start to look like a football, or it's going to start to look like a brick, because sometimes the lug bags do that. Like for example, like when I've really packed like a scoop, or I really packed like a coupe, or any of those kinds of more square bags, even my carousel, if I really pack that thing, it just turns into a brick really quickly, and it does change its shape. Because this bag actually has a fair bit of, I guess it's pretty stiff. Like, it's basically a vegan leather, but it's stiff vegan leather. It's not like the lug really soft vegan leather. It's got a little bit of a stiffness to it. Like, it really does feel like leather. And it does have a bit of structure. So when you put stuff into it, it kind of maintains its structure, which I actually quite like, because when you have a bag that's this beautiful, that has really nice lines in it, you don't want to ruin the line by having too much in it. So that was, you know, if that matters to you at all, which it does to me, like when I go out and I really want to have a nice looking bag, I don't want a bag that looks like I've shoplifted on my way over and I've just stuffed everything into it. I want it to still look like a beautiful bag. I still want to have the same lines, and this did not change the line at all. It kind of looks like this when it's empty, and it looks like this when it's packed. So let's take a look and see what I've packed into it. And by the way, I do love this. It doesn't have rips on the shoulders, but it stayed on my shoulder the whole time. I didn't have any trouble with this like slipping off. Now it's very, very heavy, so the weight of the stuff that was in the bag did pull down well enough on my shoulder that nothing, you know, like the straps didn't come off. So, like I said, stuffed, and I'm still able to zip it up, no problem, and unzip it with no problem. So I took a sweater with me. It's a thin sweater, but it is a long sleeve, and it goes past my butt. It's a long, sort of thin sweater that I took just in case they really cranked up the air conditioning, because it was really quite hot the day that we went, so I was a little bit worried that they were going to have like really, really crazy air conditioning on. Luckily it didn't, so I probably didn't need that, but anyways, I'm glad I took it. I was glad I was able to take it and know that it did fit. So so this is what I took. I took more than the essentials. I pack heavy. I am not a light packer. I take everything with me if I can. This is all I could fit in here, but I took a lot of stuff. So I was able to pack my cell phone. So one of my cell phones lived in here. So even though it was really, really stuffed, I could still get a cell phone in this pocket and get in and out of it, no problem. So that's where one of my cell phones lived. I took another cell phone. I have a personal and a work phone, so I had to take both. But my work phone has a really old, crappy battery, so I had to take a battery pack in case it died, which it did. And so there's a battery pack there. This is like a small chocolate bar size. And also I needed the charging cable. This is a 10-foot charging cable that comes with a cute little case. But look at it, it's red. And it matched my bag perfectly. Well, not perfectly, because it's a different kind of red, but still, got a red thing going on here. Oh, and by the way, did I tell you that I went to the theater and I went to see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child? By the way, great show. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But the reason why I mention that is because I actually am a Gryffindor. You actually can sort yourself. For anybody who knows what I'm talking about, if you are a Harry Potter fan at all, you actually can go to a website and get sorted by the sorting hat. It asks you a whole bunch of questions, and I got sorted into Gryffindor twice, which is why I know I'm a Gryffindor. Because the first time I did it was ages and ages when they first opened it up, and I think they lost my profile somehow, so I had to go back in there and redo it a few years later, and I'm like, cool, still a Gryffindor. So anyways, I don't have Gryffindor stuff. I don't, like, for some reason I don't have anything in my house colors, but this bag, because I was like, I'm taking it anyways, but look, it was like the perfect bag to take if you're a Gryffindor without being on the nose Gryffindor. With the red and the gold and the stripes, I was like, oh my gosh, this was meant to be. This was supposed to be the bag I took to the theater. So, because I wanted to match the stuff that was in my bag, the outside of my bag, let me try it again. I wanted to match the stuff in my bag with the outside of the bag. I went and looked for stuff. So before I go on into anything else, I actually did get the little coin pouch. This is where I kept my keys. So my keys were in there. They didn't stab anybody. It was all good, nice and safe, and perfectly tucked in there. So this was pretty matchy-matchy. I love this little thing. It's so cute. So that's the matchy-matchy thing. Now, this is where... so actually, before I go on, I took another battery pack because the other one's really actually quite old. Sometimes it dies before I want it to. So I took a second battery pack. Okay, so let me show you what I've got in here so far. So I've got the coin purse, the cable with the case, 10-foot cable, battery pack, another battery pack. Oh, shopping bag, just in case there was merch. It was red. It's a little bear, in case you're wondering. It's a little foldable eco shopper type thing. It's actually a little bit bigger than the eco shopper, and it was a cute little bear. It was red. I took it. So that went with me, because like I said, in case there was merch, which there was, I just didn't buy any. There is a water bottle, and it's actually pretty substantial. It's actually not a small water bottle. Okay, I got a bobsled in here, just a black one. I didn't have a red one, but it still looked really, really good because all the accents in here are black. So far everything is red and black, which I thought was cute. In the privacy pocket in the back, I've got hand lotion, mints, Tic Tacs, which are really yummy, by the way, and my lip balm. Whoops. Okay, so those I'm just going to put back in there for now. So that's what was in there. In this little cargo pocket, so this big cargo pocket had my bobsled, the smaller one here, my halo, my peppermint halo pen, which I actually needed because I had such a headache that day, and this saved me. It allowed me to stay in there and not puke. I've got tissues, I have a Sharpie pen, and I also have a hand sanitizer spray there. And so that was in this little pouch right there. And then now I'm going to show you, this is the small seesaw. So the seesaw comes in a pack of 2. There's a large one. This is the smaller one. But it's in the color, which I used to kind of go, what the heck is this for? What color is this? This is the Contemporary Rose Red. And it's that weird, crazy color that doesn't match anything. It's not red. It's not orange. It's not rust. It's that sort of, it's the... I don't even know what to call it. It's kind of like a chameleon of colors because depending on the light, it looks different. And it depends on what it sits next to, it looks different. Like when you stick it next to certain things, for some reason it sort of changes. But anyways, the reason why I bring it up is because for some freaky reason, I got a lot of stuff that goes in this set. But here's the thing, and I didn't get it with this in mind, but these colors are a virtual perfect match, and I didn't mean for that. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna look for my like through all of my little accessories that I have that I always sort of run to when I need to change bags, like, okay, which color is gonna work best? What am I in the mood to use? So I have a whole whack of these little things in a little bag somewhere, and I went, oh, this is, like I said, a virtual perfect match. It's not exact, but it's as close as you can get, considering these are not the same company and they're not made by the same people. Now, this one has a little bit of a shimmer just because of the way the fabric is woven, and this one obviously is not. But really, you really can't tell, especially when they're inside the bag. It just looks like they were meant to be. It looks like I have accessories that perfectly are meant to live with this bag. So that was my small seesaw. That's just like my eye drops and my drugs, my allergy pills. I got tweezers in there, just, you know, stuff that sometimes you just kind of need. And then my ever so trusty Rodeo 2. I love this wallet. It's my favorite wallet. I use it all the time. I have lots of different colors. I bought this one mainly because of the, let me see if I can show you, the interior. It's got the Maples Cream interior, which I absolutely adore. So when this first got released, it was the only place you could get the Maples Cream. It wasn't an exterior print. So I got it because I absolutely love that print. But as it turns out, again, perfect match. So I always use Rodeo 2s anyways. All I had to do was go out of my navy Rodeo 2 into my Contemporary Rose Red one, and it's honestly, look, like when I see them in there, it just made my heart sing because I now actually have the like the most perfect accessories when I decide to carry my Vendula bag. And I love this bag, and I know I'm going to use it a lot because I love it so much, and nothing makes me happier than knowing that I have accessories. So I still have the larger one, so if I need the larger one for whatever reason, I will definitely be able to use it. Like I said, the blacks look really good. I actually do have the Mabel's cream in the bobsled as well, so if I really wanted to, I could. I just kind of want the black one because I kind of was like, it's magic, it's gonna be, you know, it's not like Canada Day, so I thought that would be a much more like sort of a sophisticated look. And even when you look at the set, like, I hope you can sort of see all this junk here, like, to me that all just looked really good together. You know, like the blacks and the reds. And so this just made my heart sing to see all of these little things all live together inside my bag. And I was able to fit all of it. Oh yes, and the sweater, the black sweater. So yeah, it made my heart sing to know that I was able to get all my essentials, and that all my essentials weirdly match the bag, and then that all the little lug accessories that I use also really match the bag. So that's how I was able to pack it. That's how much I was able to get into it. I probably could have fit a couple smaller things in there as well. I just didn't want to. I didn't really want to squish it. I didn't want to break the zipper. I mean, that would have crushed me. I probably would have started crying because it was a very expensive bag, and I know it's impossible to not impossible, but very difficult to replace. It's no longer, they don't make it anymore, so I would have been beyond crushed if something happened to it. So, but I never felt like my zipper was in any way at risk when I was stuffing everything in. I just didn't want to, you know, take the chance. So, and I did also have my other cell phone in here as well. It was just in my hand most of the time, so it wasn't in there often. But when, you know, like just before the lights went out, they were really like sort of cell phone Nazis in there. And just as I was trying to shove it in there, the screen came on, and I got like a really angry, like, what are they called? Usher come over me and tell me to turn it off, even though I was like, I'm putting it away. So I was still able to zip this up and have my other cell phone in there as well. So there was enough room for a little extra in case you were wondering. So like, even though it looked like it was pretty packed, I was able to get my other cell phone in there as well. So anyway, there we go. That's how I packed my shopper tote, my Vendula shopper tote, and all my other fun lug things. So yeah, it was a fun night. It was a great show. If anyone has not seen it yet, if you're ever able to go see it, if you are a Harry Potter fan, it's a must. If you are not a Harry Potter fan, it's probably not going to make a lot of sense to you, but the special effects and the show itself is amazing. The direction was amazing. The lighting, the special effects, the costuming, the pace of it was really quite amazing. It's a long show. It was 3.5 hours. It's like the longest play I think ever, but totally worth it. And it was celebrating its 1-week birthday in Toronto. So I was lucky enough that I was gifted tickets. My man was very cool and generous and gave me tickets. And so it was a nice surprise. We got to go, and because it was they were celebrating their 1-year anniversary in Toronto, we also got a little Harry Potter Lego set, and that also fitted here as well. So, so when I left the theater, my little Harry Potter Lego set fit in here as well. So I was able to take home a little Lego set, which I didn't show you because it's packed away somewhere. So anyway, there you go. That's how I packed my shopper tote. Let me know what you think. If you guys want me to do anything else about this bag, let me know as well. Like if you guys wanted me to see if I can fit other things into it, I can. Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It would mean a great deal to me, as it really helps with the algorithm in getting this video and channel seen. It also helps if you subscribe to the channel or buy me a coffee. You can find out more about that in the description below. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.